Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Um, so I want to stay outside and enjoy this moment while the clouds seem to roll in and the rain starts tomorrow. Um, this video will be a continuation of my cancer journey and what happened this week. Last week I was told, unfortunately, that my appointment to meet my GI oncologist was going to be virtual instead of in person, which was a disappointment to me because I feel like you can understand and gather more information when a person is directly in front of you talking to you than on the video. Maybe the way they handle themselves or just what a sense of feeling that you get. But with that being said, I didn't have that option because of COVID. So on Thursday, January 20th, around 1:30, Richard and I met my GI oncologist. And I had known about him because of the many videos that I watched him on the MD Anderson YouTube site that talk about incretin tumors, which is what type of cancer I have. So as we first met the doctor, he wanted to start with my history, even though, I had summed it all up with all the in-depth paperwork that I filled out and had given them when I first met the internist that I met. He wanted the story again. So I started with what happened in 2011 and how every couple of years I ended up seeing another GI. I think ended up seeing 4, if I'm not mistaken, by the time that I found out on October the 29th that I had cancer in my ileum. So we asked lots of questions, and he did a lot of talking. And a couple of things that we talked about was he mentioned that he did not feel completely convinced that the DOTA-TATE PET scan that was done the week prior to that, or actually it's been more than a week, it's probably been 3 weeks that was done. The results of that did not convince him that the mass in my left lung near my windpipe is an incretin tumor. The uptake, what they call the uptake of the radioactive material that was in my body didn't margin up in that area like it did in my ileum. My ileum margined up something like 24, which is a high number. But it didn't do the same in my chest. So I told him that I had received and saw all that information on the follow-up Christmas Day that was sent to me of the results of that test, and I was just as confused. So I said, well, why don't we do a lung biopsy? This is what I talked to Dr. E about, and at the time Dr. E thought it was not necessary at that time. And I really think when I look back on it now that she just wanted me to get to the oncologist and let the oncologist make those decisions. So he said, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do a lung biopsy. I want to know exactly what cancer that is in your lung. I said, fine, let's do it. So he will work on scheduling that within the next 2 weeks. In the interim, next Friday, January the 28th, I will have 2 things done. Number 1, I will be given it will be a urine test that I will do, 24 hours of collected urine. They call this test a 5-HT. And what this test will do is determine my serotonin levels in my urine. As far as my blood work, it shows that I do have high levels of serotonin, which is the hormone that is secreted by this type of tumor that I have. And when you have this type of tumor, in your small bowel or your lungs, it does secrete serotonin. So he just wants to make sure that we are on target and know exactly what we're dealing with. And this test will provide him with the information that he needs. So Friday, I will go to MD Anderson and receive a jug, I guess, and I will take my urine for 24 hours. In addition, I have to stop certain types of foods that affect your serotonin levels, and there's a list of them, so I'll just make sure that I don't eat those foods within that 24-hour period of time. And I'm not exactly sure 100% how that's going to work. I'll find out more on Friday. In addition to that, he's going to start me on an injectable therapy that will help me with my symptoms. The injection will be taking place each month, and I'm already set for my first injection on Friday, and it's called somatostatin analog, and there's two types of somatostatin analogs. They are to be injected into my body, and they find their way to the tumor, and they slow down the excessive amount of serotonin that is being produced in my body, which causes basically two issues: diarrhea and flushing of the face. Well, I've never had flushing of the face, but I've had a lot of diarrhea, and he believes that receiving it will slow down my serotonin or calm down the overproduction of serotonin that I have, and will help encourage my diarrhea to slow down as well, and be a little bit more normal. And this injection also can shrink the tumor. It's not 100% for everybody. Everybody reacts a little bit different to this product that's going to be injected. So I'm curious to see how it works, and it'll probably be a couple of months before we really know how it works for me. The other thing about the lung biopsy, I don't know 100% how that's going to be done yet. I know that sometimes you have to stay in the hospital afterwards to be monitored for a day. I've read all kinds of things. I didn't ask him that question. That's for future information, I think. The process is getting my insurance to approve it so that it can be done. He said that we would get back together within a couple of weeks and know how we will continue, in what direction we will go. But the lung biopsy is really important because if it's not an incrinone tumor like in my small bowel and in my liver, this cancer will be treated totally differently. And I have done some research on basic cancer in the lung, and there's two basic types: small cell and non-small cell. And then on the non-small cell, I think it's broken down into 4 types of cancer. And I don't need to go into all the different ones, but they're all treated very differently. So right now, the most important thing is to find out what I have in my lung, and then we can continue to move, forward in my treatment and therapies. And there's all kinds of really neat therapies out there right now that have been developed. He also talked about having some people get in touch with me with supportive care to help me with my discomfort at times or pain that I have. And so that'll be happening this week too. And there's also a really new therapy. It's called PRRT, and it's really interesting because it's a high dose of radiation that goes directly to the tumors and breaks them apart and just destroys them. And I don't know if that type of therapy will be used on me or not, but it's a relatively new therapy that has worked a great deal for many cancers. So I'm interested in knowing that. I talked to him about surgery because in all of my research of NETs, a lot of doctors talk about surgery being, the first option if it can be done. And if I had just one NET in one area, I think surgery would be immediate. But because my NET has spread to other vital organs, that may not be the first option for me. They may try therapies first and see. So he did tell me, I asked him, I said, since the NET is so small on my ileum, I mean, really, it's like the size of my little fingernail. So it's very small, and it's not disrupting anything in my bowels. Why couldn't they just go in and remove it? And he said a lot of times if they immediately go in and remove it, it comes right back and it's bigger. So I don't really understand all of that, and I'm sure through this process I'll learn more and more, but I did tell him that surgery would be my first option. He also told me, which I already knew, but he also told me that this disease is not a disease that can be cured. I cannot be cured from it. It's just something that I will live with, and it can be controlled through treatments and therapies, and I'll need to be followed and watched. And I'm okay with that. I trust me, I have my moments. I have my days. Excuse me. But I would say for the most part, I have good days. And I have a lot of support, and that helps too. I'll reiterate this. I never thought on October 29th that she would call me, the GI doctor at the Methodist that found it, would call me and tell me I had cancer. And then the week prior to that, I found out that I had a mass, or what they said at the time, a nodule in my lung. I never thought in a million years it would be cancer, because I've lived the last 30 years, I thought, a healthy life, did all the right things, exercised, put good, healthy food, organic foods in my body, simple little things like toothpaste. I use Tom's fluoride free, deodorant, natural deodorant. I don't use normal deodorant. I mean, even, some makeup products some makeup products I try to use, that are animal friendly and have gone through the process of, using natural ingredients and things like that. But, we don't know why things happen the way they do, and, why some people that, maybe abuse their body for all their lives and, live a really long life and abuse their bodies. I don't know, all I know is that, I can't control this disease, but I can control what I do with it as far as what I put in my body. And I've prepared all of our meals. I live by that cookbook right now, and you don't have to have cancer to eat good and healthy like that. And so what I would say is, to anybody right now that watches this video, you can change your life, I believe, by eating better and healthier, and not just taking a vitamin. I don't believe that's the strategy. This is just my personal opinion. I believe, way back in time, food feeds our soul, the right foods. the right preparation of the food. You know, we've really got away from that because we're all busy, you know, especially when I worked in real estate for over 20 something years, you know, fast and easy. That's what I did. Now I have time to really provide good food for my husband and I and others. I've been, you know, feeding a few of my neighbors and making some things for them, and it's been fun. And cooking has helped me set aside what I'm going through and think positive, and that's been very, very helpful. And also, I want to talk about something that I've thought about a lot lately, and that's how people use the word love in prayer often too easily. And they say, you know, we'll be praying for you, or they say, I love you. And I really feel like I've learned what the word love means. And by saying love, to me, is not really what it means. Your actions, your expressions, how you show love, means more to me. And, you know, how people say, I'll pray for you. And I've been one of them. You know, I'll pray for you. You know, it's so easy to say that. Oh, I'll pray for you. And then, do you really pray for them? At night or midday, do you stop what you're doing and pray for that person? And how do you pray? I don't think I've really ever learned how to pray until now. And, you know, maybe God has blessed me in that way. If this had never happened, I would still be living my life, I guess, the way I was living it. And I didn't think it was that bad, but there's a reason and a purpose for this entering my life. You know, in 2020, when Richard had his quadruple bypass, I thought, Lord, you know, how can this be? You know, but he's recovered, he's healthy. It's a wonderful thing that we live here in Houston, Texas, and have great medical facilities. And, you know, I'm blessed that we have a great hospital like MD Anderson to go to. And I'm very confident in my doctor, and I'm confident in this rare form of cancer I have, that they can help me. But I don't think it's all up to them. I think I play a role in this, and my role is to put good food in my body, to continue to exercise, even though I haven't done much of it, but I'm beginning to feel stronger about going on those long walks. And I even went upstairs, and I would say it was a very low impact cardio, but I did it. I did it for 45 minutes, and I don't have any wheezing in my chest. I can breathe very deeply. And then I just signed up for trying yoga, meditation and stuff. One of my nephew's wives, I talked to her yesterday, and Donise, and she was like, you know, I really think you should try this. I think it would be very beneficial for your body, your mind, and, you know, just to have that peace. And so I'm starting that project today. I already signed up for it online. So anyway, I'm going to continue to cook. Like tonight, I'm going to make one of my most favorite dishes out of my cancer fighting cookbook. It's called chicken soup with ginger meatballs, but I use turkey, ground turkey. And I absolutely love it. And I've loved everything but one meal in that cookbook. But everything else I've absolutely loved. And you don't have to have cancer to eat like this. You know, so if there's anybody out there that, wants to change their way of eating, I would say start now. It's never too late to start eating right and putting good nutrients in your body. Our body is a gift from God, and we don't realize it. We take it for granted until, excuse me, something like this happens. And I know my faith, we all want to go to heaven, right? That's what we want in our life. But are we ever ready for that? I'm not ready right now. I think God has a plan for me, and I don't know exactly what that plan is. I need to get through all of this therapy and be strong again, but I want to do more. I want to do more in this world and help people in any way I can. Whether it's, finding Jesus in their heart, or eating healthier, or, realizing, what God's creation is, and what He's created for us. I've been also, my husband and I have been listening at night to this Father Mike. He does a 365-day Bible study, and it's been great to be together, my husband and I, to do this together and watch Father Mike go through the Bible. Started with Genesis and Job, and we're not even out of Genesis yet. We're on tonight will be day 23, and I apologize for my dogs barking. There's a lot of people that run behind our house, and they bark, so I apologize for that. But anyway, so if you've not thought about reading the Bible like that, it's not really reading you're listening on an iPod, but he is amazing. And another sister-in-law of mine, Doug's son, Mark's wife, Mary, told me about it. So we've been doing that too together in prayer. And I'm thankful that my husband is a very prayerful man, and he has a lot of faith, and he's enriched my life with that faith. And one thing that I wanted to also tell you, though, one thing, that test that I'm going to do, that urine test will determine if I have what is called carcinoid syndrome. And carcinoid syndrome is produced when a hormone secretes excessively in your body. And they think that I have that. So we'll find out about that as well. And these injections will also help out with that syndrome. And I also learned that it depends on where your tumors are. Like if your tumors are in the lung, or the stomach, or the pancreas, or the adrenal glands, then they secrete different hormones. So, they do an overproduction, or they overproduce that particular hormone, which can affect you. So we'll be working on to figure that one out. And the other thing that I wanted to say is this thing. It says, trust in me. It says, not by night, nor by power, but by the Spirit, says the Lord. So I'm going to trust in the Lord and all He has given me, and thank Him today for what He's given me today, since the day I was born, and thank Him for my parents that raised 10 of us. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope everybody has a beautiful Sunday, and I hope everybody starts to eat better and limit all of our guilty pleasures, because this body we have is a blessing. And I just want to always feed my body and soul from this day forward better than I ever have before. So God bless you. Thank you for watching my video. And I will continue to ask for prayers because this isn't going to be a short journey I'm on. You know, I'm one of these people, like, I want to get it fixed right away and move on. It's always been my way, that way. Let's just fix it and move on. And this one, I can't fix and move on right away. So it's going to be a journey, and I'm okay with that. I hope to learn from this journey, and I at times I don't understand it, but that's okay too. You know, I'm very fortunate. And so all of you have a blessed day, and thank you again. Bye.